Last time on Nomi Turns into a Chupacabra.
I woke up with this rash and I don't know where it came from. I've got this strange feeling. It's something that my grandmother told me about. A craving for goat flesh.
Hi, this is Nomi Darling, and I'm here at the 2014 Bigfoot and UFO Conference, and I'm here to discover the truth. So I'm here with Stan Gordon. You're a very busy man. How many television stations have you been on?
To be honest, I really have no idea. I've been doing this for my research now for 55 years. Started back in 1959 when I was 10 years old. Been out in the field investigating since 1965. Worked on thousands of UFO cases, hundreds of Bigfoot sightings in Pennsylvania, and multitudes of other strange events. And I've been out there talking to the public about this since the late 1960s, and I have done quite a lot of TV shows, and I'm really not sure how many at this point.
Tell me about Kecksburg.
Well, Kecksburg, it's a long story. It's a very interesting story. December 9th of 65, I was 16 years old when it happened. And I got involved because I happened to be listening into KDK radio in Pittsburgh that night, and they had a talk show called Contact. And that's to make the story short, they had a guest on. His name was Frank Edwards, who had written some books on flying saucers and the unusual. Well, as I'm listening to the show, almost the entire program is focusing on this UFO incident that had just happened a short time before. And they were talking about this fiery object that was seen from Canada over Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, over the Pittsburgh area. That object apparently fell in a wooded ravine in Westmoreland County late that afternoon. But what made the story so intriguing was the fact that within a relatively short time after it fell, the military arrived in that farming community. The area was cordoned off, and apparently they took that object out on a large military flatbed tractor-trailer truck about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I've been working on that case ever since it happened. Next year's the 50th anniversary. And it was after that case I began to go out into the field to do first-hand investigations, and I've been working on these cases ever since.
Now, you have done a lot of research about Bigfoot as well. What is the connection between Bigfoot and UFOs?
Well, that's why I wrote my Silent Invasion book, because it was such an intriguing account. Back in 1973, we had the biggest outbreak of Bigfoot sightings in history here in western Pennsylvania. Started in the summer of 73 and continued in 1974. But we also were having, during that year, a massive UFO outbreak of hundreds of UFO sightings, started January 1st, continued to the end of the year. So back then, I had already founded my first research group in 1970, Westmoreland County UFO Study Group. Well, by 1973, we had expanded to take on the whole state of Pennsylvania. And among the research people, we had scientists and engineers and former military intelligence people, police officers, people who had training and experience in interviewing and investigating. So we were out there day and night around our jobs investigating these cases. And I had gone into the investigation early years thinking Bigfoot, if it existed, was some type of unknown primate. And I still keep an open mind, but just to make the story short, during that outbreak of 73 and 74, some very strange cases turned up. And we had case of UFOs and Bigfoot seen together. We also saw a pattern where we would have a UFO sighting in a certain area. Within hours, to minutes, to days later, we would have a Bigfoot sighting or vice versa. So things began to show up which were very, very unusual. And then we had other instances which, as strange as it sounds, began to suggest that Bigfoot may not be what everybody thought it was, but for a better term, may be interdimensional. For example, we would have trails of footprints that would just suddenly stop and vanish when it should have been more tracks. And even in the last year, we've had cases from eastern Pennsylvania where there was a heavy, fresh snow where a creature was seen, a long trail of footprints that just suddenly stopped and vanished. So there are suggestions out there that what we're dealing with may not be what everybody thinks it is, and that may be why we have no bodies. We're just beginning to learn now about other areas of science that might be giving us clues as to how this might be a reality. We don't have the answers, but there are things out there which we just don't have the explanations for.
Now, do you think that aliens are trying to make a Bigfoot human hybrid?
Well, first of all, I'm skeptical but open-minded. I have never seen a UFO or Bigfoot in all the years I've been doing this. Investigate 1,000 cases, seen a lot of evidence. Most UFO sightings, other paranormal events, when you properly investigate them, most of them turn to be either natural or man-made in origin. But you got that percentage of cases every year you cannot dismiss. And I am not suggesting, first of all, that all unidentified flying objects or the category of unknown UFOs are all extraterrestrial. Maybe a small number extraterrestrial. Some might be some type of unknown natural phenomena. Some might be, who knows, time travel or something that's interdimensional. We don't have the answers. So I'm not suggesting that Bigfoot is an extraterrestrial coming from a spaceship. There is some association there. What it is, we just really don't know.
But how big is his shoe?
Well, variations in size. I mean, we have smaller ones that have been seen, and larger ones, okay? One of the most famous tracks was one I found back in 1973 outside of Greensburg. That was actually July 31st of 73. That was 13 inches long and 8 inches wide, but 3-toed. So we have 3-toed tracks and 5-toed tracks. And some of these tracks we see are 17, 18 inches long.
Which would be a size 20?
It's pretty large, and many of the strides are extremely big. And in some cases, we've had multiple creatures seen at the same time, where there was a group of 2 or 3 of them seen together. So we knew that there were more than one creature being seen, and in some cases on the same day, we would have simultaneous sightings from widespread areas.
Now, would this suggest that, they travel in packs?
Not necessarily, especially if we're dealing with something that may not be as biological and animal-like as we thought they may have been. Again, I keep an open mind. People see Bigfoot sightings every year. There have been Bigfoot sightings this year we've investigated in Pennsylvania. We've heard of some just within the last few days and the last few weeks we'll be checking into. So people are seeing these things, but it's not just Bigfoot. For example, if you go to my website, stangordon.info, you'll see in September there was an upswing in what we call Thunderbird sightings of these huge birds with massive wingspans. And just like the Thunderbird reports, they've been seen around Pennsylvania for maybe 100 years. But the same thing, there is no species like this. There's something very strange. We get Black Panther sightings reported, all kind of other strange entity and creature reports, and many of these come from very credible people. Sometimes there's physical evidence, but the thing is, where do they come from? Where do they go? And more you look into this, what makes more sense than anything is something that's interdimensional. Under certain conditions, they can look completely physically solid, they can leave physical evidence, and then they're suddenly gone.
Now, you have a Bigfoot hotline that people can contact you about any information. What is the hotline?
All right, well, the hotline's been open for years. I've been taking calls from the public. They can call
Since how long?
1969. I've been taking calls from the public since 1969. So between the emails on my website and the hotline that I've had people call me at my home now for years, calls come in almost every day on current or past reports. And that's you can get all the information through my website, which is at stangordon.info.
And people can give you a call anytime if they have any information that might be regarding a Bigfoot sighting.
Email me, because I get a lot of calls, and email would be the best way to contact me.
Yes, and don't call them in the morning or at night, people.
It's my email is paufo@comcast.net.
paufo@comcast.net. Hey, is there anything, your next appearance, that you'd like to let our viewers know so that they can find you?
Well, there's a lot of upcoming events. I don't have it set up yet for 2015, but a lot of them are already coming in. So keep checking my website for upcoming events in 2014 and 2015.
Sounds so exciting.
Don't be a fishmonger. Be fishy and subscribe to the Nomi Darling Show. Throw us a like, too.
Which would be a size 20?